the angle from which I'm filming this now is so much better than like what I did previously, having my camera in like the corner of like, or like between my laptop, between like the keyboard and the screen of my laptop. I used to put my phone like this for my first videos, or when I was outside, putting it on some bench or like on the floor, literally. Um, but now having this tripod is really going to like improve the quality of my videos, I feel like. Yeah, so I thought about how like today, and like, this is a thing that really has been like kind of bothering me for a long time. So I always was a gym enthusiast. I've always liked hitting the gym, okay? And I have to say that this whole like gym culture, it really gets misinterpreted by people who don't go to the gym, and they feel like you want to prove something to them, or that you have something to prove, and that this is the reason, main reason why you hit the gym. Now, you may think that it's not that important what other people think of you and so on. Well, it isn't in a way, but in another way, we're social animals. And so if you're this like buff guy walking around like this and so on, it's going to affect the way that people will see you, and also like the subtleties of like social interactions. It makes a difference. It makes a little difference. And so being the buff guy, I feel like, especially like nowadays with how spread and how like well, like how many people go to the gym, it's not that phenomenal anymore to be this like buff guy. And I have to say that on the contrary, it could even hurt your social life. If you so in my From my perspective, the gym has mostly been kind of detrimental to my social life. And one of the reasons why is also that I'm not doing anything, I'm not working in this area. It's not my job at all. I'm really just doing it as a hobby. Just like I'm hitting the gym on a regular basis, and I'm kind of like taking it seriously, but also there are downsides, like you will be more tired than the average person, like who doesn't hit the gym without doing nothing. Because like the gym, even though like you gain physical condition, it actually exhausts you. Like actually, when you go out of the gym, like there has never been a person who left the gym with more energy. That's not how it works. I go to the gym and I hit the gym and I lift weights, I do cardio to have more energy. Well, maybe, but on the day that you train, well, not so much. Not maybe not at all. Like on the contrary, you end up like dragging yourself to the gym, and that's not what we want. But even if you like go to the gym full of energy and so on, like still like the soreness on like the next day or the next couple of days, you also have to warm up. You have to make sure you do things at least somewhat right. Um, yeah, it's still time consuming, guys. It's still time consuming, and it's not like you produce anything. Now, I get that if you don't hit the gym, if you don't do any physical activity, then you might lose some just like muscle tone. You might like feel weak in a way, and maybe it's not as good for your posture, and like maybe even being able to eat more in a way, because your muscles, they use up food and calories. But in terms of how much energy it costs you, it's still kind of a burden on your like daily life, because like the moment you leave the gym, you're more tired, like you want to eat more also. Hitting the gym more, it makes you want to eat more, so you end up eating more, like going to the gym more. Like this is time consuming, then you're tired, like recovering from your workout or like digesting, and like, you're not mentally as sharp. You're not mentally as sharp. And then the other aspect is that some people might really think that you're kind of like superficial, or that you need to prove something to them, or like to yourself, that you still have to prove something to yourself, something to prove. And this is not something so good, like to have to, like, okay, but we don't care about what others think of us, all right? We don't care, ideally. But we're still social animals. That means that the way other people perceive us and see us is still going to affect us in one way or another. Because, you know, like the social subtleties of social interaction, like when you are always like tired and like from the gym, and like you have like the gym in the back of your head most of the time, because also when you go to the gym you have all these impressions, all these people like that you, some of them see on a regular basis, and it's kind of like an addiction to like hitting the gym like that often. Like I hit the gym probably like 4 times a week, and I take my workout seriously, but I had a break seriously, and I felt like it was a relief in a way. But then when I, since I already like went through a like pretty like acknowledgeable like phase of like kind of transformation, and I got like kind of like buff and like stronger and stuff like that. If I don't train now, and if I just like kind of like, even if I just train with my body weight, and I try to not like overfeed myself, just eat like normal for my body, to my digestion, not to always be working like crazy, I will kind of feel like I'm like I don't know how to explain it. If I feel like I have something missing, so I need to have muscle. But then when I have muscle, I feel like I have my muscles in the way also of like just holding myself the way I would want to. And so you develop some muscle, like some trigger points, right? But you also develop this a muscular armor in a way. And so in your daily life, like if you like, at least in my case, my the middle of my back, it always burns. Now if I'm going to the gym more, I have more, and I'm like training the middle of the back, and I'm putting on some meat on there, like when it's cold especially, and I'm all like cramped up like that, it's burning here. Then let's not even talk about the aches and pains you get like time after time from hitting the gym. There are also downsides, but it's this like toxic masculinity, and I have to say that in a way, like it's kind of true. Like there is something like that, but at the same, and unfortunately, oftentimes it kind of falls in the same category of like wanting to like flex on others. And that just from having been hypnotized by this whole like gym culture, which is very present on the internet nowadays. Well, first of all, it's very time and energy consuming, and also money consuming in a way. Well, you don't only have your gym membership, but you also have like all this other stuff that you might like, supplements. And I will touch on the not natty side later, like how there's also non-natural supplements nowadays that are almost like freely accessible on the internet, or like at the gym can easily get them. And so okay, so this is another topic, but basically it can also be bad in a social way, because I accept everyone the way they are. I'm not judging people based on their appearance, like when I see them, like based on how fit they are, at least. Like to me, it's mostly how a person carries herself, like a person how a person like the energy of that person, and what must go through them at that moment, what they must be thinking, and how they must be feeling, what they like this is like what makes the personality of a person. The carcass, like the outer appearance, the body, is not that important at all for me. Now, since I go to the gym a lot, and also I've been posting to on social media about the gym a lot of people like think, and I can completely understand that I'm probably superficial. And then when I see them, I analyze them through this like or from this angle, and it's kind of bad because then maybe they feel judged, or they feel like you know, it also like goes back to this like whole problem of not coming across of as arrogant, you know, like when you're this buff guy, and maybe even like nowadays with all like these like unnatural supplements that are like going around the gyms and so easily accessible. Well, you're a victim at this point. Like you're really being a victim of this whole like gym culture. And back in the days, like it used to be some exception, like freaks, like non normal, like people who would like develop their bodies like Arnold Schwarzenegger or like. But nowadays, it had become pretty common to where like in each big gym you have a couple of guys that in terms of like how much mass they have and how much like how in what condition and how just trained they are. Some of them, a lot of them, are even surpassing Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe not like aesthetically, and also not like because Arnold Schwarzenegger was so good at that time. But nowadays with like yeah with it's like it's not so good to it's not so good. It has lots of downsides. So I'm going to the gym 3 times a week now. I'm trying to, because if I go more often, it's going to really start affect my life like too much. My personal life, kind of my like my private life, but also just the stuff I have to do, like my obligations, my work, my studies, and I'm not producing anything when I'm at the gym. It's not like I'm, you know, people like all these motivational talks, like hit the gym, be like work hard, and so on. The problem is, if you work at the gym and you actually do that, if you actually live that lifestyle for long enough and you hit the gym 4 or 5 times a week for years on end, you will see that a lot of time will have gone into this. And at this time, it could have applied, or it could have gone somewhere else. It could have been used elsewise. Like, it could have been used in another way. And that's kind of sad when you think of all like the other like things that we can do as humans: being creative, being thoughtful, communicating, um, yeah, tapping in our emotions, um, abstract thinking, um, just spirituality, and so on. And then you have this whole like lifting, this whole like culture of like, you know, where are you going with this? Like, really? Like, if you're not, because if you're like a young person, a young who is like an athlete, and you're lifting weights for your sport, it's kind of like physical conditioning, then it makes sense. But if you are an adult person and you're not like some kind of professional bodybuilder that is promoting like supplements like protein or like creatine or whatnot, like all these like over the counter supplements, and then you have the under the counter supplements, which are very, very the spread nowadays. You have in each gym, I think, I think it's like pretty much impossible nowadays to go to a gym where you don't have one of these juice heads, right? And yeah, so if I could, like, uh, long term, if I could take some distance from the gym, I'd be really happy, because I've tried just like kind of like stopping, but if I just kind of like stop, it will catch up with me. And I will have this problem of what I told you about before, that it's kind of like because when then as soon as I lift weights again and I eat more again, I feel my muscles filling up again. And it's not like a beginner who has never lifted weights. it's kind of an unpleasant feeling too. It's kind of unpleasant. And like these fluctuations, like this yo-yo effect of your body, like sometimes like these weight like shifts, these big like drops or like jumps in weights, and this, so my weight is like basically fluctuating from like, okay, basically there's a 25 kilo fluctuation like gap that's very normal for me to go through like every year. So sometimes I'm like 98 kilos, sometimes I'm 78 kilos. And why? Because, well, like as soon as you hit the gym more for a couple of weeks, months, then all, and you eat more, then it goes very fast. It goes very fast. And the weight on the scale, it shoots up. And if you like stop, or like like, kind of stop making eating such a priority, and you stop like all this force feeding, and you actually just dedicate your life to like some other like things, like getting to know someone, or like really working hard on like some other like project that's non-related to the gym, and you don't like exhaust yourself that much, all of a sudden you have lots of more, you have a lot more energy, and also you have a lot more time. And, well, maybe you also just kind of like feel better, because like also people don't think that you don't fall under the category of this superficial guy who has to prove something to others, and kind of wants to measure himself to others, which is kind of silly. And you cannot really take it seriously at some point. So what I would like to do long term, to wrap this video up, I would like to be able to hit the like to hit the, to be able to hit the gym in such a way that I'm not, wasting too much time, money, and also just energy, and just like life on this, because I'm not, I don't want to dedicate my life to like fitness and lifting and training and like, or even coaching others. I don't. I like to go to the gym, and I went so much that I even went to bodybuilding contests, shows, and I took part in them. But I'm not making any money like that, and if I continue like that, well, I'm kind of running into a wall, and then it's kind of like this, like I want to talk bad of like other like gym rats, but sometimes you have some guys, you can see that their life is kind of like, what do you have going in your life? Well, a lot of these guys who hit the gym very frequently, maybe it's because they don't have so much they don't have so much stuff going on in their life, period. They don't have a lot of stuff going on in their life, period. And so they need that like to kind of like compensate or even hyper compensate. And it's kind of a silly, immature too. And then at some point, like, how will you progress more once you have achieved like even if you reached your natural limit? um, you could take things that would give you 3-4 years worth of progress in 6 months. So why wouldn't you take them at that point? Because like 5 or 6 years, that's also a lot of time that, how should I put it? Like, of course, you should never take these things, but yeah, if you make gym such a priority, then at some point it would make sense to take these things. And that's also why I'm not like making, I don't want um to build my life around the gym, because I've seen that, well, drugs are involved, like some like performance enhancing drugs, that it's always like about like the appearance, the outer look. You always have to be, it's like, you always have to be kind of like, if you want to, like, I don't know, be a fitness model, whatever, you always have to like kind of like restrict yourself or live in such a way that you, yeah, it's like, yeah, you got the point. The gym, and I'm talking about like from the perspective of someone who has hit the gym very much for years. And I've really, really, really made uh, I've really like built my life around the gym. And what did I get out of it? Not that much, really. Like not that much. I have to be honest. Like realistically, not that much. Um, yeah, but that's the way it is now, I guess. So being someone who has trained for years, I cannot just stop the gym. So I have to at least go like 3 times a week. And if I go way too much, then I'm going to get some injuries. Probably I'm going to be tired, because also when you are like kind of advanced, the weights you lift or that you could like potentially lift get heavier, and so it's more of a burden on your whole like the hits that your body has to take, the um like the what you inflict to your body. It's getting more and more, and it accumulates over time. And a lot of these like guys who hit the gym for years, they have lots of injuries all over the place: shoulder, elbow, every joint you can think of, sometimes the back, lots of different problems. And yeah, so balance is like the word of the end now. It's going to be balance, like finding balance, having balance, and this is key. So I'm really, really forcing myself to take my days off from the gym. Like otherwise, I would go to the gym 5, 6, or even 7 times a week, but I would be drained and I wouldn't go anywhere with it. Like so now I'm restricting myself to 3 workouts a week, really. Like I'm hitting the gym intensely 3 times a week, and the rest of the time I force myself to just go for walks, but otherwise not hit the gym. Not on my off days. Because on my off days, I already have, okay, there's the recovery aspect, but I also have other like stuff to do in my life that like the gym is kind of a recreational activity from that. But if your recreational activity is draining and exhausting, then it's not really a recreational activity, because the word recreate, so like that means you regain energy, like recreational energy. You recreate something that has been lost during work. And if your recreational activity is draining, exhausting, and kind of like like then you're not like going to have a lot of balance in your life. And why do we need balance? To be able to like thrive and to live the lives we want on our like bigger like spectrum, like from a bigger like on a bigger like every single day cannot be perfect. But if like looking back, you can say that okay, like I did these things. I For example, I met certain people that I wanted to meet. I achieved certain like things. I went to certain places. I did this, I did that, or I felt very good. Like I had a certain experience or inner like realizations. All of these things are great, but the gym is only going to help you so much with it, if at all. Okay, and if not negative, so it can even be bad. So that's why now, like for the rest of my life, I will try to make it so that the gym is also helping me in my normal life, and it's not just me living like building my life around the gym, even though I'm not even working in that like area, and I'm kind of like wasting my lifetime. I'm wasting my life. I don't want to do the same I did from like 17 or like 19, 18 years old. It started until now 27. If I did this again at 37, I would really be like, wow, I was at the gym all this time, and what did I do? Well, maybe I went to a couple of contests, and maybe I had fun even. Maybe that's something. Okay, fair enough. That's something. I'm not talking down on people who go to the gym and make this their lives. You can. I kind of did that, and I just want to share my personal experience that it's not all that great. So I'm going to keep hitting the gym. Don't get me wrong. I just was at the gym today. I was at the gym for 2 hours, and I was training hard, and I wrote my workout down. But tomorrow I'm going to take a day off, and actually okay, so Friday, Saturday are my off days. So I can choose either I train on Saturday or Sunday, but that's it. I'm training once on the weekend, and then I'm training again on Tuesday. So my workouts are Tuesday, Thursday, and either like Saturday or Sunday, but not more than that. That's really going to be a kind of a priority that I will make for myself. Is not hitting the gym more than that. Okay, now I don't know if you have been listening until now, are going to the gym, but if you do so, then maybe you can like share your personal experience in the comments, and you can like tell me in the comments if the gym has helped you in your life, if the gym has like what positive things you've actually gained out of working out, and also maybe what not so good things the gym has, like I was about to say brought in your life, but not brought in your life in that sense, if that makes sense. if, so you can like share your experience in the comments, like what positive or negative things did you get out of working out, or like training at the gym, or even like doing weight training, body weight training. But other sports, this is a different topic, because other sports, there's a game, there's like a tactic, a strategic component to it, and there's also like a technical component to it, like how you hit the ball playing tennis, how you swim, how you stroke, you know, how you do your strokes. But going to the gym, well, okay, there is a bit of technique that you have to know to do the movements properly. But even like training on machines, you don't have to know any technique at all. You just have to like set the machine right for you, and you just train. And then yeah, so there's not a lot of technique involved, and there's not a lot of strategy involved. Like what strategy is there? Because like strategy is something like, okay, if my opponent